What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE making this wrestler's life a living hell, and they're not happy. WWE fans have demanded change. WWE still making millions. Triple H is under fire for his comments. John Cena appears at the dungeon. A WWE name buries a new champion, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at WWE making this wrestler's life a living hell. Now, our top story today takes a look at the latest when it comes to Ridge Holland, and unfortunately, WWE are making things even worse for the former WWE star. Earlier this week, Holland took to his social media pages to state that due to his ongoing contractual issues with WWE, he's unable to pay his mortgage. And for those unaware, Holland was released by WWE whilst injured, and this is controversial because Holland is said to be out for an extended period of time, meaning he can't possibly work. To make things even worse, Fightful Select have reported that WWE has decided to outright punish Holland for his social media comments. According to the report, WWE have now terminated his contract even earlier than initially expected, as they're considering his comments to be a breach of contract. Things got worse for Ridge Holland, aka Luke Menzies. Fightful Select confirmed with WWE sources that Menzies' WWE deal has been terminated early. The word within WWE was that they considered some of his recent posts a breach, and a call was made to release him from his deal early. The deal was originally set to go until mid-November, at which he'd be paid. It was strongly suggested that he won't be paid for the remaining period. Now, it was also noted that whilst WWE are still going to pay for his surgery and rehab, if they decided to rescind this offer, they are going to open themselves up to legal action. Menzies sustained an injury on September 27th that had him sidelined until well into 2026 and unable to wrestle. Holland was released within 7 months of recovery remaining, something that was almost never a practice in WWE until the last year or so. Menzies has said that he was not paid additionally for the TNA appearance. It was noted that WWE is to continue providing his rehab, but they would almost certainly open themselves up to legal action if they didn't. Now, it seems that WWE really weren't happy being painted in a bad light by talking about his financial struggles. According to the Wrestling Observer, in your deal, you're not supposed to talk badly about the company in public, and so they felt that they now have the right to fire him. It's going to cost him. It'll either be 1 week's pay or 2 weeks' pay because he wasn't getting paid beyond November 14th anyway. They didn't need to do it. I guess they felt that however you want to look at it, they wanted to send a message to everybody out there that if you say anything bad, you can be cut, and that's what happened. I've been told that the other side from them, which is essentially that he should have known from last year that the way everything went down that he probably wasn't going to be under WWE much longer either way, and he was getting paid through the end of that WWE deal. Their feeling is as well, when you know that this is happening, you should adjust your finances and everything like that. At the end of the day, I may lose my mortgage. They weren't happy he said that. WWE are quite rightly being called out for this, and it seems that WWE are really trying to make an example out of their former star. Don't want any more bad-mouthing from other WWE stars, but all Holland did was state that due to being released, he was unable to pay his mortgage. He didn't exactly bury the company. Holland has been urged extensively to seek legal advice, as a number of TKO practices are certainly pushing legal boundaries. Next up is WWE thriving. Now, speaking of WWE and TKO, yesterday their third quarter financial results were revealed, and WWE is looking to have another incredible year financially. TKO announced a revenue of $1.1 billion, which is down 27% from the second quarter. UFC revenue was down 8% to $325.2 million, however WWE revenue was up a whopping 23% to $402.1 million. In an official statement, TKO stated that this increase was down to media rights and an increase in ticket prices. Revenue increased 23% or $75.8 million to $402.1 million, primarily related to a $31.4 million increase in live events and hospitality revenue, a $21.5 million increase in media rights, production and content revenue, and an $18.2 million increase in partnerships and marketing revenue. The increase in live events and hospitality revenue was primarily due to higher ticket sales revenue as well as an increase in site fees, most notably related to the first ever two-night SummerSlam and Wrestlepalooza, the launch event for the company's new distribution agreement with ESPN. With a number of high-profile events coming up including Survivor Series and John Cena's final match, we can certainly expect a significant increase in the final quarter of the calendar year. Next up, WWE defends ticket prices. The WWE president Nick Khan spoke at the earnings call yesterday, and one of the things he discussed was WWE's ticket pricing model. We all know that WWE continue to increase ticket prices on a monthly basis, and based on what Khan said, WWE feel justified in doing this because ticket prices reflect the active marketplace. It's both PLEs and weekly events pricing and capacity. Capacity continues to be very high. We've increased prices appropriately with the marketplace. That's for the PLEs, Raw, SmackDown, Saturday Night's Main Event, and any other ticketed program that WWE has. We remain bullish on it. A couple of years ago when TKO was put up, one of the first things we collectively did was reduce the non-televised live events, which created more scarcity in the marketplace for our televised events, and our continued international expansion only furthered that. Akan would then state that due to the European tour in January, tickets are more sacred in the US, which in turn increases demand. So even in January, you'll see us on the European tour for Raw and SmackDown leading into Royal Rumble, which will take place in Saudi Arabia. Tickets are already on fire for that event, and it creates more scarcity in the United States, which is a good thing in terms of our overall gauge. These are kind of worrying comments from Khan, and it'll be interesting to know if WWE and TKO plan on reducing ticket prices if the shows fail to draw in big crowds. But fans have demanded change. Last week, SmackDown received widespread criticism from fans, and when it surfaced that the arena was half empty, there were a lot of question marks regarding the future of the show. WWE has delivered a subpar SmackDown product for the best part of a year, and it's finally catching up to them. Granted, the show took place on Halloween, but it's not like the show has been well attended or has been popular with fans in 2025 before this specific occasion. The show on Friday drew in a total of 933,000 viewers, which just so happened to be the lowest rating for the show ever outside of an FS1 special. This is horrendous news for WWE and should hopefully be the wake-up call they need. The show isn't interesting, there are no compelling characters, and they made the face of the company, that being WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, one of the most lifeless and dull characters in the entire company. The show really needs a hard reset, and this goes beyond a WWE draft. Whilst a draft would certainly shake things up in terms of talent distribution, there needs to be a vast overhaul when it comes to the creative output of the show. New names need to be brought in to write the show, as the show can't possibly continue down this path. WWE also evidently, based on Nick Khan's comments, have no desire to reduce ticket prices, so they're expecting fans to part with substantial amounts of money for a show that isn't even good and isn't even delivering what fans want to see. WWE fans have taken to social media and have pleaded with WWE to take the SmackDown product seriously, and even head former writer of WWE Vince Russo has chimed in and has directly blamed Triple H for SmackDown's misfortunes. Though that's probably not a surprise, as Vince Russo has a big vendetta against WWE. But Triple H has come under fire for his comments. Triple H has once again come under fire for his recent comments, as at the recent All In Summit, the Gamer claimed that once a wrestler departs WWE, they're well suited to do anything in life. When you leave WWE, whether you've been there for a long time or at any level of success, you're so well suited to just about anything in life. I truly feel for a lot of people, it's sometimes less about all the things you know and how good you are at them as a charisma to get people to listen to you. If you put the right people around you, you can have all the things you need, but people will follow that leadership. Fans on X have been mocking these comments, as again saying this as one of their former main roster stars is unable to pay their mortgage is rather telling. Next up, John Cena appears at the Dungeon. John Cena made a special appearance at the Heart Dungeon yesterday to help train young stars. Cena was invited by Natalya and Tyson Kidd, and amongst the names that decided to attend the training sessions included Ilya Dragunov, B-Fab, Angelo Dawkins, and Maxine Dupree. Cena was also seen taking a picture with none other than Brody Lee Jr., aka Luke Harper's son, which is absolutely lovely to see, as Cena faced Harper a number of times in the ring. Cena's delivered a number of these types of appearances, and just last month, he appeared at the WWE PC as a guest coach. It's been speculated that Cena may be lining up a guest coaching job in WWE, as he's admitted that he'll still be around WWE in some capacity when he retires next month. So this will be the perfect way for the WWE great to give back to the company. Next up, a key WWE name buries a new champion. Conan works for AAA as a member of the creative team, and although he exclusively works for AAA, due to AAA being owned by WWE, it should be a given that Conan is reserved in saying anything overly negative about the WWE product. But with that being said, his employment with WWE hasn't really deterred him from burying Jade Cargill. On the latest edition of his podcast, the former WCW US champion claimed that Cargill isn't championship material.
She looks like a star, but she's not championship material yet. She needs to be able to lead people. It's like when Liv Morgan first got the championship. Remember, I was burying them. She's too green. Why did they give it to her? She's not ready. Then the second time they gave it to her, she was ready. She can lead people into a match. She cuts good promos. She's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's things that
you don't just give it to somebody because they're over.
These comments will likely rattle those in WWE, but Conan has always been a name that has never shied away from sharing his opinion, no matter how controversial they happen to be. And finally, AEW introducing a new title. Now, final story today looks ahead to AEW Full Gear as the company has announced they'll be introducing a new title. It was announced on AEW television last night on the next pay-per-view they will crown an AEW National Champion. The company stated history will be made in just a couple of weeks at AEW Full Gear presented by DC, when the first ever AEW National Champion will be determined in a casino gauntlet match, as first announced by AEW GM and CEO Tony Khan ahead of Wednesday night's Dynamite. The National Championship is a storied, prestigious professional wrestling championship representing the top prize in the NWA's Georgia Championship Wrestling, one of the top wrestling promotions in the entire country, but the title hasn't been seen on TBS since 1986. Now, there is a concern, just like WWE, that they have far too many championships, but this is a smart way to garner interest in their final pay-per-view at 2025. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.